Just settling into your mat. Really rooting down and grounding into your sitting bones. Just drawing the shoulders up and down your spine. And we're going to rest our hands on our lap. And just finding that point of contact between your hands and your knees and the legs and the mat. And then when you're ready, you can close your eyes and just settle into your breath. Using that breath to bring you a sense of calm. Our mantra for today's class is, with love and patience, nothing is impossible. With love and patience, nothing is impossible. So using the next few breaths just to reflect on this mantra and how it can apply to you either in class today or with stuff that's going on in your life. And most importantly, that relationship you have with your child, with your baby. Anytime you come through a challenge or an obstacle, just remind yourself, with love and patience, nothing is impossible. Breathe this into your lungs. Breathe this into your belly. Breathe this into your heart. And with the eyes still closed, we're going to take the chin forward just to extend the back of the neck. And then very slowly circling the head all the way around. And when you find center, let's take it across the other way. Just bringing that gentle and slow movement to the neck. And coming back to center. Just bringing both palms together, thumbs touching, middle of your heart. Settling into your space. Reminding yourself of our intention, our mantra for today's practice, and allowing that to guide you in the next hour. When you're ready, slowly blinking the eyes open. And just resting your hands back onto your lap. We're going to take a deep breath in, reaching the arms up nice and high. Big stretch of the spine. And then exhale, take a little twist across to one side. And then coming back to center, bringing the arms up. And as we exhale, twisting across to the other side. Good. Returning back to center. We're going to take the soles of our feet together. So we're going to go through some movement with the feet together, knees are open, the hips are open. And we're going to just let the body fold forward, rounding over your legs, curling into a ball. Now, as you breathe in, I want you to lift the chest and draw the arms back, arching the spine. And we're going to stretch the legs forward and point the toes, and even lifting the chin if that feels good. So we're going to do this a few times, moving with our breath as we exhale, bringing the knees out to the side, curling the body over the legs. And then as we inhale, sitting tall, lifting the heart, stretching the legs, opening the heart. Let's go for 3 more rounds, moving with the breath, exhaling to curl and round, opening up through the hips, letting the knees fall open, then inhaling to lift the heart, stretch the legs, stretch the toes, stretch the ankles. 2 more times, breathing out. And then as you breathe in, expanding the shape that you're creating with the body, really arching the spine, lifting the heart. Last time, curling into a ball, folding over the legs. And then as we inhale, expanding through the chest, reaching up. Good. Coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to plant the feet onto the mat with the knees up. And we're going to let the knees drop to one side and take a big stretch over. Good. Let's do the same across the other way, letting the knees flop over to the other side, one hand to the back, one arm reaching up nice and high. Good. Coming back to the right side or the first side. This time, if it feels good, you can also lift the hips off the ground. And let's sweep it across the other way, lifting up. And coming back to center. Let's get ready for some sun salutations to warm the body up a little bit more. We're going to start on all fours, planting the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Good. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under and find our first downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up high. You can pat through the feet if that feels good. Start to open up the shoulders, lengthening the back, pressing the hips towards the back wall, and really lengthening through the calves. Beautiful. Bending the knees. We're going to walk our feet towards our hands. And we're going to slowly roll up through the spine, coming to standing. And you can have your feet together, or you can have them a little bit apart, just whatever feels right. Just draw the tailbone under. Breathing in, we reach the arms up nice and high, extending through the side body. As we exhale, we fold forward. Beautiful. That's it. Softening the knees as you need. Inhale, taking a halfway lift, lengthening through the back. You've got it. Exhale, plant the hands down. We're just going to step the right foot back and bring the right knee to the floor. Inhale to lengthen the spine, shift the hips towards the mat. Good. Just a nice, low, easy lunge. And when you're ready, we're going to lift the arms up high. And just holding here, allowing the body to open, letting the hips melt towards the mat. As you exhale, bring the hands down. And we step back into a downward facing dog. Good. Bending the knees, we're going to walk the feet forward. Slowly rolling up through the spine. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Beautiful. As you exhale, hands to the mat. This time, left foot steps back, releasing the knee to the ground. Finding that low lunge, and once you're ready, reaching the arms up. Beautiful. Both hands to the mat. Downward facing dog. Reach it back. Bending the knees, walking the feet forward. Slowly rolling up through the spine. We're going to add on breathing and reaching up. Exhale, finding your way all the way down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Good. Exhale, plant your hands to the mat. Right foot, step it back. Rest the knee to the ground. Inhale, reach the arms up, finding your low lunge, Anjiyasana. Beautiful. This time we're just going to take the right hand down and keep the left arm up. We're going to twist. Good. And as you exhale, bring the hand down. We're stepping back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, we shift the weight forward into a high plank. And let's rest the knees down, taking a nice little chaturanga and resting the chest all the way onto the mat. Good. Inhale for a little cobra, opening up the heart. And as you exhale, find your way back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Bending the knees, you can walk forward or you can take a little hop if that feels good. And from here, we're going to roll up through the spine, coming back to our Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms up. We're going to do the same on the left side. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Good. Planting the hands down, left foot steps back. Resting that knee to the ground. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. Good stuff. This time we're going to keep that right arm up and just bring the left hand down. Good. Floating that hand down to the mat, finding your way into a downward facing dog. As you inhale, shift the weight forward into a high plank, really drawing the abdomen in nice and strong. Good. And down to the knees, resting the chest, bringing it towards the floor. Inhale to roll the shoulders back, opening up the front of the heart. And exhale, draw the abdomen in, downward facing dog. Good, let's take 2 more breaths here in our downward facing dog. Very nice. Bending the knees, you can walk, step, or jump the feet forward. And slowly rolling up through the spine. One more deep breath in, reaching the arms up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Just staying here, grounding down. Just checking in with your body, with your breath. And finding stillness. Good. We're a little bit warmer now. All right, so we're going to go through a standing sequence. We're working on stabilizing through our lower body, through our hips, and through our core. Let's have the feet together, big toes touching, outer edges of the feet parallel. So we're going to come into Utkatasana or chair pose. You can have your hands in prayer, or you can challenge yourself with the arms up to you. We can start here. So sinking the weight into the hips, bending the knees, shifting the hips back. Good, and just drawing the tailbone under, taking out that arch in the lower back. Nice and strong. Now from here, we're going to lift the right knee up, just to hip height. Good, and hold it here, finding that balance. From this position, we're going to step the right foot back, and we're going to bend the knees, both knees 90-90, coming into a nice deep lunge. Yeah, that's it, good. So little wobbles going through the legs, that's really good. We're building strength, we're building heat. From this position, we're going to bring that knee back up. So we're coming back up here. Beautiful. Back to the top, same leg. So coming down into Utkatasana. Good. Lifting that right knee up, finding balance. Stepping that right foot back. Dropping into that lunge, both knees bent. I'm going to push forward, bringing that knee up again. Good, and release. Let's go for 2 more rounds on the same leg. Dropping down, Utkatasana. Good. Inhale, lifting the knee up. Exhale, step it back, bending both knees, finding strength. That's it, good. Really think about drawing in through the lower belly and pushing into that front foot, lifting the knee up. Beautiful. Last round, Utkatasana, sinking down into that imaginary seat. Good stuff. Lifting the right knee up. Bringing the right knee back. Planting the toes down, bending the back knee towards the floor. Good. And we're going to lift the right leg up. Good. Now that leg, keep it floating up, keep it lifted. We're going to step back into that lunge. So we find a high lunge. Now from here, we're going to bring that knee towards the mat, just hovering above the mat. And we straighten. Good. We're gonna go for 8 of these little taps, yeah? Well, not taps, almost tap. Ready? Let's bend the knee for 8 and stretch. Bring it down for 7 and stretch. Good. Last 6 and lengthen. You're doing good. Last 5 and stretch. That's it. Hold strong in the core for 4. Beautiful. Last 3. Last 2. Good stuff. Last 1. Lengthen the back leg. We're going to bring both feet together and shake it out. Nicely done. All right, let's go for the same sequence on the other side. So bringing the big toes together, sinking down, Utkatasana, drawing the belly in, really tucking that tailbone under, keeping the weight in the heels, pressing the knees together, shoulders and chest open. Inhale, left knee lifts. Find your balance here. Build that relationship with the floor. Step the left foot back. Drop it down into a lunge. Good. That's it. And when you're ready, we're going to push forward, floating the leg in the air. Oops. Good stuff. Let's go for 3 more rounds. Very nice. Good. Now we lift. Lifting the knee up. That's it. Step it back. Find your lunge. Deepening into the legs. And bringing that energy forward and up. Very nice. Last 2 rounds to go. Sinking down. And lifting the knee. Good. Big step back. Hover the knee just above the ground. That's it, Tanya. Nice work. And big step forward. Zipping everything in and up. Last round. Drop the hips nice and low. Good. Inhale, lift the energy. Press into that grounded leg. Finding your lunge. Lengthening the back thigh towards the ground. Good. And 1 big step forward, lifting up. Beautiful. From here, we're going to step back into that lunge. That's it. Square your hips, square your chest. Let's bring that knee just above the ground for a little hover. Good. And stretch. We've got 8 more to go together. Let's go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Beautiful. And 4. Last 3. That's it. Last 2. Oh, my legs are burning. Last 1. Good. Well done. From here, step the feet together. Deep breath in, reaching up. And exhale. Just take a forward fold. You can hang on to the elbows. Just let the legs lengthen out. Very nice. Planting the hands into the mat. Step back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, chest comes forward, high plank. Knees to the ground. We're going to take a chaturanga, little press, and then we come all the way up, back onto the knees. Let's go for another 3 more of these little presses. Yep, don't have to go too low. Just go to what you feel comfortable with. When you're ready, little press for 3. Good. And 2 more. 1 last press. Beautiful. And let's bring the hips to the mat, finding your Cobra Stretch. Good. Really drawing the shoulders back, lengthening the collarbones out, and then pressing back into a child's pose. Good. And just take a few breaths here. Then when you're ready, the hands come under the shoulders, slowly coming up. We're just going to bring the knees forward to cross the ankles, and we're sitting down on the mat. Good. So we're going to come into a supported boat pose, Navasana. You can choose to have the knees slightly apart, or you can have the knees together. We're going to have our backs nice and long. So really think here about keeping the chest open. A lot of times when we go into boat pose, what tends to happen is the shoulders round and the back kind of curves this way. So imagine you've got a big diamond necklace and you're trying to show that necklace off. Okay, so our focus today is on really keeping the chest nice and open. And we're going to keep our hands extending here, like you're holding onto a beach ball. If you want to, you can also hold onto a yoga block, just as a reminder to keep the arms long and the chest open. Now from here, we're going to take a little lean back. And then inhale to lengthen back up. So as we exhale, we think about drawing the abdomen in nice and strong. Inhale to lift the chest, really float it up. Good. And again, exhale, gentle slide back. Inhale to lengthen up. Really focusing on the area just underneath your belly button. Let's go for 3 more, nice and easy. Last 2. And last 1. Good. This time we're going to add on. We're going to lean back slightly, take a little twist to one side, come back to center, and lengthen up. Good. Let's try it on the other side. Take a little lean back, little twist, come back to center, and back up. Good. Let's go for 2 more each way. Gentle lean back, little twist, and back to center. 1 more time each side. This is our last round. Good stuff. And the other side, leaning back, little twist, and lengthening up. Good. Placing, oh, you're not holding on to the block. You're good. So let's have the soles of the feet together, arms behind your back, just opening up the chest, opening up the front of the hips. Well done. Good. From here, we're going to cross the ankles, bring the hands in front, step back into a downward facing dog. Good. Bending the knees, you're going to step your right foot forward. Good. And from here, come up to a standing position and turn to face your camera. Nice work. All right, we're going to have our feet nice and wide. And the toes are going to point to the front. So the outer edges of the feet are parallel. Oh, that's my cat. Good. From here, we want to draw the abdomen in and up and open up the shoulders. We're going to interlace our hands behind our back. And just think about lengthening your fingers towards the floor. Good. Now drawing the hips back and lengthening the chest forward. We're going to fold. That's it. And just hold that forward fold, letting the head hang. Really think about the crown of the head or the very top of the head lengthening towards the floor. And then just letting the arms reach over the top of the head, shifting your weight into your toes, really opening up through the calves and the backs of the knees. Taking 3 more deep breaths just where you are. 2 more deep breaths. Keep lengthening the arms. Don't give up. Don't give up. Oh, 1 more breath. I can see you. And just releasing the arms. We're going to take our hands in front and lengthen out the back. And you can use a block if you need to. Yeah. Good. So here, I'll come side on so you can see. We want to find a flat back this time. That's it, good. We're gonna keep our right hand on the block. We're gonna lift our left arm up, finding that twist. Good. And again, as much as you're reaching into the top hand, think about pressing that bottom hand into the ground. So you're pushing away from the floor. Very nice. And if your wrists are tight, you can circle the wrist a few times. And change directions. And slowly release down. Good. This time, same thing on the other side. You're gonna bring your left hand to the mat or to the block and lift your right arm up. And circling the wrist. That's it. You've got it. Beautiful. And the other way. Oh, hello. Good. And then when you're ready, coming back to center. And you've got your baby in front of you. Yeah. Good. So you're going to keep him there. And you can even hold on to his hands if that's available to you. So if he's sitting, you can hold on to his hands this way. And then keeping that spine nice and long. Oh, good. And then we're going to bend the knees. And we're going to stretch. Good. 2 more times. Deep bend in the knees. Yeah. And straighten 1 more time. Deep bend in the knees. And straighten and hands to your hips. And slowly come up. Good stuff. Well done. All right, we're going to take it down to the mat. How is he? Do you think he will be, well, let me unmute you. Do you think he will be open to having a little bit of baby massage?
Absolutely.
He's just woken up from his nap, right? So he should be quite chill,
Yeah.
I think.
Yes. Yes.
No, little one. Okay. So my assistant has been fired. I've replaced him. So we're going to come into a kneeling position, and you can have, what's your baby's name?
Camel.
Sorry?
Camel.
Emil.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have Emil in front of you. Hello. And since he's on his front there, what you can do is you're just going to go for little raindrops on his back. Little patches with the fingers, really strolling or like stroking your fingers down his back. And this really stimulates the skin, wakes up all his little nerve endings. Good. And then now with big brush strokes down his back and even all the way down his legs. That's it. And now we're going to focus on the soles of the feet. So his heels should be at the top, right? You can press your thumbs onto his heels and then press down the middle of his foot. You can do that a few times. Yeah. So just with your thumbs. So imagine this is his foot, just with your thumb, down the center. That's it. And then from the heel, you're going to work your way to the little toe, from the heel down to the 4th toe. And you can do that, yeah, 1 hand on each foot. So you're drawing a line from the heel to each toe. Because in the soles of the feet, we have so many nerve endings and so many meridian lines. So we want to try and stimulate and wake them all up. Yeah. Now, if you can guide him onto his back, that's it. Good. And we're going to hold on to his ankles, and you're going to bring his knees into his chest and then stretch the legs out again. Bring the knees into the chest and stretch the legs out. Good. And you can talk to him, you know, make like little noises at him. Yeah, that's it. Good. And now we're going to keep the knees pressing into the chest and just go for a few little circles. So really moving through his hips. That's it.
Where you going?
Changing directions.
Where you going? He keeps straightening his legs.
And then this time, you know, a happy baby pose.
Yeah.
So you're going to bring his legs into happy baby. And you can even encourage him to grab onto his feet. Sometimes they might.
He does it sometimes, but.
Yeah. And then from that happy baby, you're going to straighten the legs out. Yeah. And then go back into happy baby again.
There you go.
That's it. And we stretch. Good. One more time. Happy baby. And then a big straddle. Nice work, Camille. Good. And then this time, you're going to try to hold on to one of his knees and take it across into a little twist. So you're guiding him into that twist. Yeah, that's it. And he's rolling. That's fine. That's fine. The roll is good. And let's bring him back on the back and then try the other side and see if he rolls the other way.
You're just staring at the screen. Let's try this way. Come on. There you go. You like that? Is that a good twist?
Nice.
He prefers rolling that way.
Yeah. So now that he's sitting up, I'm going to invite you to come into a wide-legged seat. So we're in a wide-legged straddle, and yep, he's perfect just where he is. So let's focus on the right leg first.
Okay.
You're going to use your right arm to hug him into your chest. Yeah, so he's sitting down in front of you. Yeah, just hold on to support his back. Then we're going to take the left arm up and over. Good. Coming back to center. Gonna try the other side. Good. Coming back to center. Now you're going to support him to do the same thing. So you're going to hold him into your chest to support his back. You're going to lift up his right arm and then take a side bend. So you're going to guide him into that side stretch, whichever side's fine. So yep, reach him over. He's resisting.
Yeah, he doesn't normally sit still for this long. Here we go.
Good. And then now we're going to bring his legs into a wide-legged fold. And then you can stretch over and also guide him into that forward fold. So maybe opening up his palms onto the floor and maybe letting him tap his hands. That sometimes helps. Yeah. Good. And then you can lift him into your chest and staying in that straddle, because we also want to still work on you, Mom. And we're just going to rock side to side. And then as you rock side to side, you should feel that little stretch in your legs as well. And you can also go for a little circle around. And change directions.
Yeah.
Good. Alrighty. Now, from here, we're going to do another front opener. And he can just chill where he is. So we're going to come onto the knees and we're going for a half camel. And we're going to have one hand on the ground behind you. You can also have a block if you wish. But today I'm just going to have my hand on the mat. And then I'm going to lift one arm up this way. Emil, what are you up to? And let's try the other side, Tanya. Emil, can you stretch? Can you stretch like your mom? This way. Bring one arm up. With your hand. With your hand. Good. And then if you want to try a full camel, we're going to come up onto our shins, hands supporting the back, the lower. So pressing your hands down on the lower back, just drawing both shoulder blades together and lifting the heart. Just a gentle back bend. Good. And then slowly breathing to release. Well done. So the next stretch that I want to guide you into is to release the front of the shoulders. So for this one, we'll be lying on the back. So I'll show you the setup first, and then you can see how you want to configure your room. So just imagine, so we're on the mat here. Now I'm gonna lay, when I'm laying down, I'm gonna have my right arm out to the side in line with the shoulder, okay? If it's too deep of a stretch, you bring the angle down, but try not to go up. So I'm gonna lie on the side with the right arm extending back, and then my right cheek is on the floor. And then from here, rolling the hips towards the back. So we're reaching that right arm back. And you're resting on your right cheek. And then you want to slowly bring the knees up towards the left side. So you can have one knee pointing up to the ceiling and letting the weight of the legs fall in the opposite direction. And then start to open the chest towards the ceiling and just take it as far as it feels okay on that shoulder. So we're here for a little bit. We don't want to go into your maximum right away. Just take it nice and easy, really breathing into the release. Slowing that breath down, letting the body slowly, slowly open up. And whether you spend a lot of time in your day in front of a screen, or if you're still breastfeeding, but even just holding and carrying a meal all day, the front of the shoulders get so rounded and so tight. So this is a really nice opener. And being on the floor just allows your body to deepen into the stretch while still being supported by the ground beneath you. We want to slow that breath down, deep breath in and long breath out. And seeing if you can open up your hips and your chest a little bit more towards the ceiling. Feeling that extension all the way from the front of your shoulder down the entire length of the arm. And slowly easing out of the pose, just rolling onto your front. Just taking a neutral position on your front for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly pressing yourself up. And then we're going to set up on the other side. Setting up on the other side. So the same thing this time, the left arm extends out onto the floor and you're going to lie onto your left cheek. That's it. And start by opening up the right knee towards the ceiling, noticing how that adds a little more weight onto the right arm. And then as it feels comfortable, bringing the hips towards the back, starting to move, move the chest. And just adding a little more weight onto that left arm. And once you find that sweet spot, just breathe into the pose. If it feels good, close your eyes, just so you can really tune in to your body and to your breath. Feeling that extension from the middle of the chest all the way across the front of the chest, the front of the shoulder, the entire bicep, and then all the way into the fingers. So opening up the palm, really letting your whole hand come in contact with the floor. There's so much value in having our hands really open and pressed into the ground. And with each breath, letting yourself release further and deeper into the stretch. Emil's having a little party up here. Finding a little bit more release for those last few breaths. And then slowly finding that neutral position, just lying onto your front, letting the spine, the shoulders reset. And then gently pressing up when you're ready. Good. So we've opened up the chest this way. This time we're going to open up this way. So you can set up your props in front of you. You can have like your blocks or blankets to add height. We're going to come to the end of the mat Knees nice and wide apart. I'm going to place the hands onto the blocks, and then resting the forehead down on the mat to let the shoulders open up. Again, here, just taking your time to settle into the pose, noticing what sensations you have, not just in the shoulders, but also in the spine, the hips, the shins, the feet. And then noticing what happens as you maybe press into your fingertips a little more, or maybe if you press your palms into the blocks a little more. And notice what happens when you focus your breath or breathe into your wrists. And then notice what happens as you breathe into the shoulders, the armpits. Notice what happens when you channel your breath to your sacrum. Feel it broadening behind you. And notice what happens when you breathe into your ankles and your feet. Just taking a couple more deep breaths. And keeping the head rested on the mat, just releasing the arms, taking your hands beside your feet, letting the shoulders droop towards the mat. Feeling that space between the shoulder blades. Feeling the change in the shape of your body now, and the change in the shape of your spine. And maybe if it feels good, you can rest onto one cheek. And then slowly turn to the other side. When you feel ready, hands come under the shoulders to gently guide you back up. Now, our next pose is a really nice restorative pose. We're going to have our legs up the wall. So stay where you are. I'll show you a couple of options. If you have a seat or a couch in your room, you're going to lie onto your side and then roll onto your back to rest the calves here. Otherwise, if you're going to use that wall behind you, you're going to lie onto your side and have your bottom all the way up against the wall. So we're this way. I don't know if you can see. And then from here, swivel to bring your legs up. And you can have a meal by your side, or you can have him on your hips and bring him onto your chest, whatever feels good. So we're going to start with a little bit of an active stretch first. I want you to think about extending the backs of the heels up that door and then drawing the toes down so the feet are flexing. Good. And then take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let the hips fully melt into the mat. And then let the legs soften. They are fully supported by the wall, and your entire spine is fully supported by the floor. You can keep your eyes open. You can talk to Emil. You can hold on to him, play with his hands. And this is a really nice way to share that connection. And as much as you can, releasing and relaxing into the pose. You can stay as you are, or if you'd like a little bit more release into the hips, you can slide your feet down the wall and have the soles of the feet together and the knees out. So we have our legs in Baddha Konasana or butterfly position. And that can feel quite nice as well. So just find a position that works for you today. What does your body need today? And making your deep breaths a little more deliberate so that Emil can see you breathe, and maybe he can breathe with you as well. Allowing that stillness and calm that you're creating to fill the entire room, the entire space around you. And you can slowly and carefully guide the knees together. And for Shavasana, you can either lie onto your side where you are, still in contact with the wall, or you can slide away and find a little bit more space on the ground. In Shavasana, consciously relaxing through the feet, removing any effort from the soles of the feet and the ankles. Letting the legs lie long and breathing as much space as you can into the front body and across the face. And as you feel ready, closing the eyes and just finding that breath, that release in Shavasana. Deepening the breath. And coming back to that mantra that we started our class with love and patience, nothing is impossible. With love and patience, nothing is impossible. And just allowing that mantra to guide you into the rest of your day. And start to breathe little movements into your fingers, into your toes. And as you feel the life return to your arms and legs, maybe taking a big stretch, reaching the arms up high, lengthening the toes away. And then as you feel ready, drawing your knees into your chest, giving yourself a loving hug, just appreciating your body, appreciating this time that you've given to yourself. And from here, rolling onto your left side and just taking a few moments before you come back to a seated position. And let's take one final big stretch together. Oh, there we are. Taking the arms up nice and high. And then palms together, hands to heart center. Namaste. All done. How are you feeling?